Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170 The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty. Before the break, we were talking with AJ Powers, Powers Premier Team. And also in studio, I've got Jason Hall, my co-host with Team Home Loans. Again, if you want to connect with any of the guests we've had on the show, you can visit our website at whisselwednesdays.com, WHISSEL Wednesdays.com, or shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. So before the break, guys, we kind of teased that there's been some changes with the FHA appraisal guidelines. So, Jason, give us your take from the lender perspective, and then AJ, I want to get your take on that from the realtor perspective.
You know, it just came out. It's still new, but FHA must have been burned over the past 5-10 years on different properties happening with the FHA financing. What I mean by burned is they had borrowers probably calling up or complaining, well, the reason I can't pay my loan is I didn't realize that this, water heater wasn't working, or that this electric unit wasn't working. And when I went to hire an electrician, it's going to cost me $5,000. So I decided not to pay you guys a couple months. Because what FHA's now put in the guidelines is they want the appraiser to be like a secondary or maybe even a primary inspector of the home, basically to let FHA know that it's not only livable, but that everything that's there is working. I mean, it's crazy they're talking about AC to like if there's refrigerators, stoves, so there's going to be, I'm hoping, some changes here shortly. Because I think once FHA sees maybe some of the conflicts that AJ and you might point out, hopefully they'll take a look at it and make some updates. I think it's good to make change, but as usual, the government makes too much change. That's kind of my take on it, AJ and Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
So what are the changes? Let's get into some more of the details.
I'll have to bring up the list.
I've got it up here.
You got it?
Yeah, so basically it goes from the inspector or the appraiser having to go in and do stuff like inspect the crawl space, attic space, check all the windows, make sure they're functional, open and close all of your appliances, anything that's there, even if it's not staying, refrigerator, things that typically weren't even looked at all, now have to not only be there, but they have to work. So you're taking and making this as extreme as possible. I mean, to me, it really makes FHA undesirable for a seller. And so that's going to affect all these buyers that not only have a little bit of money, but now their financing is less desirable because there's so many potential issues that could come up on the appraisal.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, that's definitely something. I mean, we're already seeing less FHA buyers with the 3% conventional that's now out there through Fannie and Freddie, up to $417 loan amount. But I agree with you on that, AJ. I mean, there's going to be agents and sellers that are like, hey, I got 5 offers. This one's $2,000 less, but it's conventional versus an FHA. And you're probably going to tell the seller, hey, it might be easier because you have a few issues with your house, just to go with conventional.
Yeah, and I also think that, the difference between that 3 on the conventional and the 3.5 in the FHA, the biggest thing is credit, right?
Right.
So now these people that have little money, and let's just say a 630 FICO, are really going to be pushed out because they can't qualify for that conventional loan. So it's going to be difficult for that first-time buyer with maybe not the best qualifications and a little bit of money. It's going to make their job a lot harder in finding a home and getting that accepted, and my job a lot harder too.
I agree. So we've got Philippe Heller with the Real Estate Inspection Company on the line. And Philippe, we're talking a little bit about the FHA appraisals and how the appraisers are now going to kind of be asked to do some of your guys' job as a home inspection company. And we see that there could be some potential issues with some of these homes when they get in escrow and these issues are uncovered. So I know at the Real Estate Inspection Company, you guys offer some pre-listing inspections. So can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure, and it's a great topic. And as a seller, you want to make sure your house is available to as many possible buyers. And part of that is making your house suitable for either somebody who's using a VA loan or any kind of loan. You want to make sure that your house is going to pass muster. And a lot of sellers just are under the assumption that their house is great or good enough or nothing's wrong with it. But they really need to have a set of eyes objectively looking at the house so that any buyer can come up. And otherwise, you're cutting out a big chunk of the market, a big number of potential buyers if your house can't. Just yesterday, I did a house and the furnace doesn't work. And as we all know, of course, no VA appraiser is going to approve a loan on a house where there's no heat. So it's just one of the things that we, of course, look for. We highly recommend that sellers do get that pre-listing inspection.
It's a great idea. Great
And what
idea.
does it run to have a pre-listing inspection? Let's just say it's your cookie cutter, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house. What does that cost?
We have a couple of options which are pretty cool. Normally, because it's a full inspection, just like for a buyer, the pricing is pretty much the same. And out there in the market, it can range from $395 to even $500 depending on what other services they get. Our company's somewhere in the middle there. And it's a few $100s, but really, if you can get that one buyer who loves your house, it's worth it. So that's the big thing. Here's another option that we offer, and you might want to ask if you know another inspector who might do this. It's called a verbal only. And what that is the inspector comes in, and it saves a lot of money because instead of writing a lengthy report, taking a lot of pictures, you're basically paying a consulting fee for that inspector to come in. You as the seller have a notepad, and you take notes alongside the inspector who's pointing out things that he would normally put in the report. And remember, that doesn't prevent or exclude somebody from having to disclose big items. They always have to disclose that. But what it does is it reduces the amount of little maintenance items that can make a home inspection look so daunting. But a verbal inspection is usually half the price of a full written inspection, and the result is the same. It gives the seller a long laundry list of things that they should take care of before that VA appraiser comes in and finds this long list. And many times it's a lot of little maintenance items that just make the report look daunting and could scare away the buyer.
Definitely. So if you can eliminate the problems before you ever even put the home on the market, it can avoid having issues once you actually put the home into escrow. So that's an awesome service. Again, we're talking with Philippe Heller with the Real Estate Inspection Company here in San Diego. If you want to connect with Philippe, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. And so, Philippe, earlier in the show, we were talking about some of the cool new marketing things that, the team at Whissel Realty is doing. And I know you guys have some really cool new tools over there. So can you share with our listeners what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we have always prided ourselves on being cutting edge, and we were one of the first in San Diego to introduce infrared thermal imaging in home inspections. It's becoming a little bit more common now, but we've always liked to stay way out in front of everybody. And the latest thing that we've offered, or that we do offer now, is a 3D virtual tour for sellers. And what this is, it's an amazing bit of technology. We have a special camera, and we come through a house that is going to go on the market, and we scan the whole house. It's a process. It's a little bit tedious. It takes about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the size. But it takes a scan of the entire house and creates a virtual 3D tour that's almost like a video game where a potential buyer who's looking online and he finds the house that he likes and can click on that link, they can then tour the house on their own through their computer, and actually it's self-directed, so they can walk into any room, they can look up and down. It's almost like Google Streets if you punch in an address and then you can see a particular house and spin around and do all that stuff. Amazing technology. And sellers, what's nice for the sellers is that they don't have to show their house at the drop of a hat, move the kids out, everything. They clean up their house once. We can scan it. It's online. Potential buyers can look at it, tour the house, and it doesn't disturb the buyers as much as a traditional model does.
That's awesome. So before a home hits the market, they can reach out to you guys, again, the Real Estate Inspection Company here in San Diego. They can reach out to you, one, to get a pre-listing inspection done so they can figure out if there's any issues, clean them up before the home hits the market. At the same time, you guys can come in and do one of these really cool 3D tours to get the home ready to go on the market so that the home can appeal to as many buyers as possible.
It's not only amazing technology, but we're also giving the service available to agents because it can help them win listings. When they go in and give their listing presentation and they bring this technology to their portfolio of services that they offer a potential seller, this is huge. Sellers are going to love it. I think it's the way you're going to see things go in the future.
I love it. Thanks so much, Philippe, for joining us. Again, if you want to connect with Philippe, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. We'll get you all their contact info, give you info on how you can get one of these pre-listing inspections done. If you're an agent, how you can get one of these 3D virtual tours done to help you win that next listing. Thanks again, Philippe.
Take care.
All right, guys, we're going to head to a break. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more with Jason Hall and AJ Powers. Want to find out what's going on with the investment property market here in San Diego. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays on KCBQ 1170.